Members of Parliament, support staff, visitors in the Tribune, radio listeners, TV viewers, all following this meeting via social media, as well as members of the media, good morning. Welcome to this public meeting number 17 for today, Wednesday, May 29, 2024. We have established a quorum of 15 members, and I invite you to stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. I have not received any notifications, and I ask now if there are any notifications to be made from the floor. And we have MP Kevin Mingret. MP Mingret, you have the floor for notifications.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pleasant good morning to everybody, Madam Chair, to you, SG, and to my MP colleagues, and to everybody who's in the Tribune, and to everybody watching via media. Madam Chair, I know the results of my action this past week cannot be undone. I understand what has transpired, and Madam Chair, I would like for everybody in St. Martin to know that I, Kevin Mingret, is truly sorry for those actions. I understand, Madam Chair, that right now I have lost the confidence of the people of St. Martin, and with my family as well, and the coalition. But Madam Chair, I want the people to know I could make this wrong right with my utmost work ethic going forward from now. Madam Chair, I would also like to apologize to my family and friends and all my supporters of what transpired this whole past week. And with that being said, Madam Chair, I have nobody else to blame but myself. I'm a rookie in this game, and I will learn how to not be a rookie and learn from my mistakes and move forward with this. I'm not here to point any fingers. I'm here to own on my mistakes and accountability of my actions. And Madam Chair, I'm a firm believer of God. And one thing I could say, God would put me back stronger in front of those who broke me. Thank you else, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Mingret. I don't see any other notifications. So, members of Parliament, a special welcome to the students here with us this morning of the St. Joseph School. Good morning and welcome to this public meeting of Parliament along with your teachers and mentors. Good morning, and thank you for taking the opportunity to visit Parliament at this time. So welcome to all of you. Members of Parliament, before I continue on with the agenda point for today, I will propose, because following the introduction of the agenda point, of course, members of Parliament will be offered the opportunity to speak. A speaker's list is here for that purpose, and I propose that we maintain a speaking time of 10 minutes in the first round and 5 minutes in the second round. No objections to that. We will then establish that for this meeting, that will be the speaker's time. Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, we go over to the agenda point for this public meeting, which is the appointment of a chairperson and vice-chairpersons of Parliament. It is important to note that this meeting was originally scheduled for Friday, May 24th, 2024. however, was postponed until further notice. So going over to the agenda point for this meeting, on Monday, May 20th, 2024, Member of Parliament Kevin Maingret informed Parliament in a letter registered on the IS 711 that he withdrew his support from the URSM, DP, PFP, and NOW coalition. This letter from MP Maingret was accompanied by a coalition agreement on the same date signed by 8 members of Parliament. Considering the above, by letter of May 20th, 2024, the President of Parliament, Sarah Westcott Williams, submitted a letter notifying Parliament of her resignation as President of Parliament, making her position available with immediate effect. And this document is registered on the incoming document IS 720-720. Subsequently, by letter dated May 21st, registered as incoming document 721, MP Melissa Gomes notified Parliament of her resignation as second Vice President of Parliament, also making this position available. And by letter dated May 21st, 2024, registered as incoming document number 722, MP Christophe Emmanuel notified Parliament of his resignation as first Vice President of the Parliament of St. Martin, making this position available. According to Article 57, paragraph 1 of the Constitution, it states, Parliament shall appoint a chairperson and vice-chairperson from amongst its members. And Article 6 of the Rules of Order of Parliament stipulate that in the first meeting to be held after a periodic resignation or dissolution, Parliament appoints the President and the Vice Presidents. And as long as such appointment has not yet taken place, the President or the Vice President, as appointed from the preceding period, acts as President if he or she forms part of the new Parliament. And in the absence of such a person, the member of the new Parliament, who amongst the members has had the longest membership in the body, the member who is the oldest in age, acts as President. If there is no such person, the member who is the oldest in age acts as President. Parliament can relieve a sitting President or Vice President prematurely of his or her duties and appoint another member as President or Vice President. The elucidation to Article 6 of the Rules of Order states that Parliament has the authority to, in the interim, relieve a sitting President or Vice President of his or her duties and appoint another member as Vice President or President. And such a case may present itself if the President pertains to a faction that was part of a coalition and has stepped down from the government. Also in the case that the President, who was a member of a faction and subsequently left the faction to form his own faction, it could be desirable to change the President. Article 8 of the Rules of Order describes some of the tasks of the chairperson, such as directing the task of Parliament and of the Presidium, ensuring compliance with the Rules of Order, maintaining order during the deliberations and suspension thereof, executing the decisions taken by Parliament, and representing Parliament. As mentioned earlier, members of Parliament, the Speaker's time in the first round for this meeting is 10 minutes, and in the second round, 5 minutes. After the second round, we will proceed with the voting on the new chairperson and vice chairpersons of Parliament. So we now go over to offering the members of Parliament the opportunity to speak on the topic, which opportunity or which request is noted by members of Parliament signing a so-called speakers list indicating their desire to speak. And according to that list, I now invite MP Viren Kotai to take the floor. MP Kotai, you have the floor.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Griffier, fellow MPs, and those in the Tribune and viewers watching online. Actually, Madam Chair, I would like to ask your indulgence for formality's sake to make my introductory statements.
MP Kotai, you may do so.
Well, I would like to take this moment to thank my parents for instilling the values that earned the confidence of the 249 voters to represent you in St. Martin. Right now, we face challenging times, not because we are a young country, but due to the obstacles we place in our way. Discussions on independence highlight these issues, inviting major scrutiny on our island. We must ask ourselves, have we reaped any benefits as of yet? As I awaited the approval of my credentials, I heard many say, I don't have anything against you, but that didn't make me feel any good. As a parliamentarian, I aim to deliberate and act for the benefit of our great island, St. Martin. Our actions should benefit the community and the nation. Electoral reform is urgently needed, and we do not need the lip service. We have lost nearly a year to campaigning and transitions, delaying important laws. We must restore national pride in our elected members, and this is my first time in Parliament, and I am committed to serving with ethics and honesty. Look at our economy, look at Phillipsburg, look at our airport, and the struggles of the majority of our people on St. Martin. After 14 years, we cannot get it right, and electoral reform is a crucial step. We have much work and uncertainty ahead, but let's strive for a better tomorrow, knowing our actions are weighed by both our electorate and a higher power. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Viren Kotai, for that statement. And I now offer the floor according to the speakers list, and I say this to remind the students about the members of parliament having to actually indicate their desire to speak. So that's what we're doing right now. And the next MP that I invite, therefore, to take the floor is MP Richnel Brug, who is getting set up to make his presentation. MP Brug, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Madam Chair Lady, I'll ask permission also for me to get some time to introductory statement.
You may, MP Brug.
Thank you. Forgot the eyes. All right. Blessings, honorable members of Parliament, those sitting in the tribune, and those joining us via the different media. Welcome. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for allowing me to stand here today in front of you as your elected member of Parliament. I would also like to thank my family, my close friends, and my campaign team for standing by me every step of the way, whose sacrifices have not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. A special thanks to Jacoby Rodriguez, Suena Laville, former members of Parliament, Johan Yanchi Leonard, Romain Laville, for their invaluable advice and support. To the URSM candidates and their supporters, I acknowledge that I would not be here today if it wasn't for them. I say thank you. To the voters that have been with me from since 2014 and that has recently joined and committed to me and this movement, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. These groups of special individuals did not just vote for me because I am a likable individual or because it has been my lifelong dream. They voted for me because over the years I have displayed characteristics of integrity, competency, and a person of the community. as a family man, as a frontline worker, as a businessman, I too experience the hardship that our people go through. Our people are struggling while games are being played in this hall. As a result of this, they have lost faith in our political system. They have lost faith in us as leaders. On February 10th, I heard most members of Parliament talk about working together, putting St. Martin first, and other nice words. Unfortunately, it's not everybody that put this into practice. I would like to plead to each member of Parliament, let's start doing right by our people and our future generation, some of which are sitting here in the hallway today. I will do my best to draft legislations to improve the quality of life of our children, our seniors, and other vulnerable groups within our community. I hope that you will support them. I too will support any draft legislation that serves the best interests of our people, whether it comes from the minority or the majority in Parliament. I have no problem voting across party lines if it's good for the people of St. Martin. Over the next few months, until election, and even after I am re-elected back to office, I will continue to fight for alleviation of poverty in our community and the improvement of quality of life of all our citizens, whether you are born here or born to be here. Those that know my story know that it was not an easy journey for me to be elected here today. But despite all challenges, I never gave up. That's what I want you students to understand as well. Never give up in whatever you want to do. Today I say this because I want you to understand that I take my responsibility as a member of Parliament seriously, and that I am committed in working exclusively in the best interests of our people and St. Martin. Thank you very much, Madam Chair Lady, and that will be all for now.
Thank you, MP Brug, for your remarks. And I continue with the speakers list and offer the floor to MP Silveira Jacobs. MP Jacobs, you have the floor.
Good morning to you, Madam Chair, the Secretary General, my colleague, members of Parliament, and of course, our visitors in the Tribune. It's always good to see our students not only learning about government and procedures in their social studies classes, but actually visiting these halls and hearing directly from our members and meeting them. Good morning, of course, also to the people of St. Martin. Over the weekend, indeed, there were many celebrations, and I want to convey my congratulations once more to the Guyanese community on the celebration of their Independence Day over the weekend. Madam Chair, I want to take this time as leader of the National Alliance faction to welcome the two newest members of Parliament. We look forward to being able to do exactly what we've all stated in our opening statements here, and at varying times, is to work for all the people, not just for the ones who may have voted for us, but in the interest of all of the people of St. Martin. It requires maturity, it requires compromise, and it requires dialogue, just like it does on the other side. And the elections that took place were parliamentary elections, and I really want us to remember that that's what it was. It's a representative on this side of the fence, but of course with a majority choosing who would represent us in the executive body. And I think that is something that we are still struggling with. We're still seeing that that is not quite finalized, and that is also part of the problem in terms of moving forward. We have a lot of decisions to make. Yes, reform has been on the agenda for some time, and I must say I'm happy to see that the meetings held last week regarding electoral reform here in the halls of Parliament is a step in that direction. But of course, we must collaborate and we must ensure that awareness is there by the population, which had started also with the government in the last cohort. So I look forward to seeing how, together with the community, we can dispel the amount of disinformation that continues to be spread. In our recent foray with the Paralamericas, as faction leaders, we were able to take part in discussions with many of our colleagues in the region as well as the rest of the Americas, North and South America. And so it is imperative. This is not a St. Martin problem. Social media has given many people a platform. So what we must raise within our community is discernment. Discernment in terms of who is bringing the message, in terms of what are they saying? Is it the truth? Can it be verified? And I think that is where we will raise the level of how elections take place, because legislation can change, but if behavior doesn't change, we will not see the change that we want in St. Martin. And I have pledged to be the change I want to see in St. Martin and hopefully inspire that within our young people with whom I have a rapport. And I will continue to do so together with my faction here in Parliament, with our community councils, and with the people of St. Martin in general. And so I look forward to the legislation, to the amendments, to the proposal, and to the support that I have heard recently spoken that will come from both sides of the fence for legislation that is good for the people of St. Martin. With that, Madam Chair, I will yield the floor, and I thank you for the opportunity to address you as well as these youngsters and their support here this morning.
Thank you.
And of course, the people of St. Martin.
Thank you, MP Silveria Jacobs, for your commentary and remarks. And I now ask MP Roseburg. MP Roseburg, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair Lady, Secretary General, my honorable colleagues, the viewing public present and online via social media. Blessed day, St. Martin. First of all, congrats to MP Kotay and MP Brug. I also want to address MP Mingret. I would like to tell him I respect the fact that you publicly apologize to the people of St. Martin. That takes courage. That being said, today is a special day. Today we have with us the bright and eager faces of our youth. Please do know that they are watching us. They look up to us seeking inspiration, guidance, and hope. They are our future, and it's our duty to be the example that they need. We must remember that every action we take as members of Parliament and every decision that we make shapes their future. Our youth are not just the leaders of tomorrow. They are critical thinkers. They are innovators and the caretakers of our beloved St. Martin. And they deserve our best efforts. So let us all rise to that occasion. Let us focus our energies and commit ourselves to the task at hand. We, all 15 of us, have been entrusted with a great responsibility, and it's time that we deliver our promises. Let us work diligently and with integrity. Let us ensure that every decision we make, even if in this time, is in the best interest of St. Martin, of all the people of St. Martin. We owe it to all our citizens to provide them with service, opportunity, and support that they deserve. Today, let's renew our commitment to our island, to our people, and most importantly, to our youth. As I said, they are watching us, and they are counting on us. Let's do our job with pride, dedication, integrity, and a clear focus on the future of St. Martin. And let's remain focused. Together, I repeat myself, together, we can create a St. Martin that we are all proud of. A St. Martin that offers hope for everyone and opportunity for the generations to come. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, MP Roseburg, and all the members of Parliament who have spoken thus far. I now am going to adjourn for 2 minutes as we allow the students here with us to take leave and continue on their program for today. Once again, thank you for choosing the Parliament of St. Martin as a place that you wanted to learn and be inspired by the representatives of the people of St. Martin. So meeting adjourned for 2 minutes. Bye, students. Welcome back, members of Parliament, and all those tuned in to the meeting. We took a few short minutes for a break to allow the students of the St. Joseph School and their teachers to take leave. They were here for the beginning of the meeting and the agenda point, and so we now continue with the agenda point for this meeting. And we go over to the second round and ask if there's the need before we go further for anyone to make use of the second round, at least those who have spoken in the first round. I see no need of those 4 members of Parliament, so we have come to the end of the speaking rounds. And we go over to the voting for the chairperson of Parliament. According to our rules of order, it is necessary that a committee of tellers be appointed, and that's according to Article 70, paragraph 1 of the rules of order. I hereby appoint MP Melissa Gums, who is also the chairperson of the committee, and MP Cloyd Marlin as members of the committee. Members of Parliament, the ballots will be distributed on which you will fill out the name of the person you would like to be the chairperson of Parliament. The tellers will then count the ballots, and the chairperson of the committee, MP Gums, will announce the results of the voting. Members of Parliament and all others, do realize that the meeting is not adjourned while this process of counting the ballots is taking place. The chairperson of the committee is ready to report, and I invite MP Gums to do so. MP Gums?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. At the end of the voting, we have 8 votes cast for MP Sarah Westcott-Williams and 7 votes cast for MP La Cruz.
Thank you, MP Gums and MP Marlin, for your work as committee of tellers. And the MP Sarah Westcott-Williams has been elected as chairperson of the Parliament of St. Martin. Thank you, members of Parliament. We now go over to the voting for the first Vice-Chairperson of Parliament. As members of the Committee of Tellers, I would ask MP Gums and MP Marlin to please accept the duties of the Committee of Tellers for the voting for the first Chairperson of Parliament. And the same applies, members of Parliament. You are asked to cast your vote for the first Vice-Chairperson of Parliament. And during this process, the meeting is not adjourned. The ballots are now again being distributed for the first Vice-Chairperson of Parliament. MP Gums, for your report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have had a total of 15 votes cast. 7 votes for MP Christophe Emmanuel, 7 votes for MP Jacobs, and 1 vote for MP Gums. Repeat? Oh, sorry. So 7 votes for MP Christophe Emmanuel, 7 votes for MP Jacobs, and 1 vote for MP Gums.
Thank you, MP Gums, for that report. And given the results, we're going to have to continue with the action on the appointment of the first chairperson of Parliament. And thus, I am going to adjourn for 5 minutes. Meeting adjourned. Do this quick. Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this meeting, which was briefly adjourned following the voting for the first Vice Chair of Parliament. The results of that voting, as announced by the Chairperson of the Committee of Tellers, was 7 votes for MP Christophe Emmanuel, 7 votes for MP Silveria Jacobs, and 1 vote for MP Melissa Gomes. I just want to run down the stipulations regarding the voting on persons, as these stipulations, according to our rules of order, differ from the regular voting and applying the outcome of voting. So, as mentioned during my introduction to this agenda point, according to our rules of order, Article 70, voting on persons for appointments or nominations mentioned in the Constitution or the Kingdom Charter is done by ballot, which are deposited in a ballot box. For such voting, the President appoints 2 members as tellers, and after the first appointed teller has reported a number of ballots found in the ballot box, and the President on the number of members in attendance, the first appointed teller announces the results. We have heard those results, and where that now is regulated is Article 75. If in the first vote no one has obtained the absolute majority of the votes validly cast, a second vote takes place between the 2 persons who have received the same, or who have received the most votes. So the 2 persons who have received the most votes. That's where we are at this moment. And I therefore ask the Committee of Tellers, MP Gomes and MP Marlin, to please take up the duties of the voting for the first Vice Chair of Parliament between the members who have received, in this case, the equal amount of votes. It is expected that members of Parliament would indicate in this or on this ballot, the new ballot received, the name of the person for first Vice Chair of Parliament. And again, members of Parliament, as this process is undertaken, this meeting is not adjourned, members of Parliament. Members of Parliament, just to make sure that it is understood, this voting is taking place between the 2 persons whose names or for who there was a tie in votes. Let us be clear. On this ballot, you indicate your preference for, yes, you indicate your preference for the position of first Vice Chair of Parliament between the members Jacobs and Emmanuel. That's what this second round, so to speak, is all about. The committee is doing its work. The meeting is not adjourned at this time, and we await the results. MP Gums, Chairperson of the Committee of Tellers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At the end of this vote, we have a total of 15 votes cast, 8 votes for MP Christophe Emmanuel, and 7 votes for MP Severia Jacobs.
Thank you, MPs Gums and Marlin, for that report on the election of the first Vice Chair of Parliament with the results as announced by MP Gums of the Tellers Committee. MP Christophe Emmanuel is elected as the first Vice Chair of Parliament. Congratulations, MP Emmanuel. We now go over, members of Parliament, to the voting for the second Vice Chair of Parliament, the second Vice Chairperson of Parliament. And again, members Gums and Marlin, I ask you to please assume the duties of Committee of Tellers for this voting as well. And so the members of the Committee of Tellers are MP Gums and MP Marlin. Members of Parliament, the ballots are going to be distributed once again, on which you fill out the name of the person you would like to be the second Vice Chairperson of Parliament. And like we have done before, the tellers will count the ballots and the chairperson will announce the results. Right now, the ballots are being given to the members Gums and Marlin. And members, this meeting is still in session. MP Gums, your report as Committee of Tellers, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At the end of voting, there are 15 votes cast, 8 votes for MP Melissa Gums, and 7 votes for MP Claude Marlin.
Thank you. Thank you both, MP Gums and MP Marlin. With those results, the second Vice Chair of Parliament is MP Melissa Gums. Congratulations, MP Gums. Congratulations, MP Emmanuel, and thank you to the members of Parliament and the people for tuning in to this meeting of Parliament. Members of Parliament, we, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this meeting. Thank you for your participation, and I hereby close this public meeting of Parliament. Meeting closed.